Welcome back, guys. It's been 2 weeks. Been busy this summer. I've been taking some college courses, so haven't been able to make any predictions. Sports have been pretty dead. Football started back yesterday, so I think it's a great time to start out this video. Last was a soccer analysis. I was very wrong on that game. If you want to check it out, it's right here. But we're going into a different round with football season around the corner. I really want to tune into this. Obviously, I'm going to make some predictions for each conference and hopefully gather a playoff prediction pretty early. And then obviously might adjust like mid-season and then once it actually comes out. This is just for my entertainment, kind of see where my predictions lay, see how they compare to experts. Because I mean, I've seen a lot of bold experts' predictions that I just don't agree with. So this will give me something to look on mine. And if I gain traction, amazing. If not, at least I'll have to look back and hopefully I can talk with a few other people about it. So yeah, this is all things sports. My team is Clemson. Clemson Tigers. I think we will have a good year this year. And that's why I'm going to start off with the ACC. So the ACC, relatively easy conference. Still a Power 5 conference in my opinion. Clemson should have this no problem. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use playoff predictions to or predictors.com to kind of predict the ACC and see how it'll lay out towards the end of the season. So what I'm going to do to save time is I'm going to go ahead and make a cut and then I'm going to predict each week and then come back at the end and point out what games are huge and the implications of the FCC or the ACC, excuse me. All right, 1 second, boys. All right, boys, we're back. Finished the predictions. So what we have done is completed the ACC, and I'm gonna pick up here in week 3 because that's when we see the first ACC game starting. Uh, and on the left, if you want to look over at champion Clemson, I am a fan of Clemson, but I do think we have a really good chance this year at going all the way. But if not all the way through the ACC, and I will admit I'm 100% biased for the South Carolina game. I know the LSU game that's gonna be a tough game. I'm giving us the edge in that one. But South Carolina game, that could be the game that we drop the ball. But I'm never gonna say South Carolina's gonna beat us. So that is why we're 12-0 right here. Miami 11-1. I think they could be really strong. And this was just a rapid fire through the weeks, guys. So if some of the other games, those didn't really matter as much, I was kind of just doing the ACC. So Miami 11-1, they could slip up week 1, and I think it's another week. We'll touch on it in a second. But just the way I have it shaping up is Clemson, Miami, Louisville, Duke, SMU, Georgia Tech, Florida State, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, NC State, Virginia, Syracuse, Pitt, Boston College, Wake, Stanford, California. California 0-8. That's really harsh, but they've never been a great football team, so we'll see what they do. But the first ACC matchups, I think Wake's going to take down NC State. I gave this to Wake just because they have home field advantage. I think that crowd will be rocking first conference game of the year. I think they should pull that off. Clemson, Georgia Tech. This is another key game for Clemson. Georgia Tech spent a bit of money, got some good commits, so this could be a kind of people were calling it a trap game, so they just have to make sure that they're fully focused. And we'll see in the first week if they are fully focused. Usually we don't come out too hard. I mean, we got crushed by Georgia. And then the year before that it was Duke. We lost to. So if they come out hard this year, I think this game will be favored by 3 touchdowns if that is the case. Is that the only? I think yeah, that's the only. Boston College, Stanford. Gave it to Boston College. I don't think Stanford's that good of a football team. They hadn't really been good since Christian McCaffrey was there. Even then, they weren't that great. But I just don't see them getting too much done this year, guys. Let's be honest. Second week, Clemson beats Syracuse. Think this will be a great game. Shout out Brown, their coach. He shouted us out last year when he helped us get to the ACC championship. We wouldn't have won that without him. So I think this would be a pretty cool game, pretty cool reunion between him and Dabo. Uh, give me Clemson in that one. Duke, I think with the money they've spent, the quarterback they brought in, I think they'll be pretty solid this year. I do see them beating NC State. And then let's see what else. Miami and Florida. This was the game that I think could go either way. That I didn't put too much thought into. I kind of just gave the edge to the ACC since the ACC predictions could be completely different. The SEC predictions, so don't hold me to that. This is more so just for the conferences. But see Virginia beating Stanford, and then that is all the ACC games head to head wise. Florida State. This brings me to a key talking point that I want to touch on. There's 7 right here in the middle of the pack. I have them going 6-6. This is more so just last year they were really struggling, but they've made some changes, and I do want to see them become a little better. We don't really have a powerhouse right now in the ACC besides Clemson, even if Clemson's even considered a powerhouse. But I do think Miami can emerge themselves this year, and I would probably switch this Duke and SMU right here. I don't see SMU doing great this year, but hopefully they do better. Great game last year for the ACC championship. They about came back on us, so shout out to them. And then Florida State over Virginia. Obviously, I think they're going to improve a bit. I could see them getting up 8 to 9 wins, but I just feel more comfortable putting them right there for now. Boston College over California. Like I said earlier, California's not a great team. VTech over NC State. I think NC State's going to have a bit of a down year. Haven't seen too much out of them, but who knows? They could prove me wrong. Louisville, very respected team in Louisville. I think they beat Pittsburgh. Duke, like I said earlier, I think they're going to have a pretty decent year with all the money they've spent, the new quarterback, and I just think that they'll probably beat Syracuse. I think Syracuse is going to get a little worse after losing a few of their key guys. Stanford, they'll probably take down San Jose State. Georgia Tech, I do think Georgia Tech's in for a good year. Have them over here at 9 wins. I think that they can definitely do that, and I'm hoping that they don't upset Clemson week 3. That'd be great for their program. Miami takes down Florida State, and then Pitt beat Boston College. SMU takes down Syracuse. Duke takes down California. Clemson in North Carolina. Bill Belichick, our first time going against him. Those tickets are outrageous. Would have loved to go on, but I'm just not paying that much just to go watch us walk over North Carolina. I do think that they'll be better than they have been, but I don't think they'll take down the Tigers. Louisville, easy win against Virginia. Virginia Tech, Wake Forest. I think that's easy for Virginia Tech. Week 7, Clemson beats Boston College. Florida State beats Pitt. Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech. That'll be a great game. I have them finishing 6-9. So I mean, this game could change that completely. To be honest, it could send Virginia Tech up to here above Florida State, and then we'd had 3 5-3 teams. But I do see Georgia Tech taking that one, especially since they're at home. Limited seating in that Georgia Tech stadium, so they'll have a lot of their own fans there. SMU, team I hadn't talked about too much. Like I said, I think they'll take a step back. Hopefully, Kevin Jennings is just really undersized. I feel like hopefully he can improve. His decision making wasn't the greatest, especially when I was watching the ACC championship. It's kind of like when the game got out of reach, he got better. But I wish them nothing but the best. They've spent a good amount of money just because they have plenty of money to spend. So, but I do see SMU taking a bit of a step back, not to where they're horrible, but where they'll finish about this 4 or 5 spot in the ACC. Notre Dame obviously beats NC State. Wish they were still in their conference. We'll start playing them again in 2 years. Then Wake loses. Louisville takes down Miami. This is a game that could go either way. I'm just calling for an upset just because I want to see Louisville beat Miami. I think that'd be pretty cool. But obviously, if it went in Miami's favor, it wouldn't change too much. It would just put them and Clemson at the same record. But it would take Miami, or it would take Louisville from this 5 spot to 6. So not too much of a difference. It's not like a team's getting knocked out of the championship over this game. North Carolina walks through California. Clemson SMU rematch of the ACC championship. I will be at this game. Can't wait. Looking forward to it. I hope that we can make Kevin Jennings fumble again, and I hope that we can have like 5 turnovers that game on them. Georgia Tech takes down Duke. This will be a good game. Um, Duke, they have to slip up once, so I'm going to have them slipping up at home to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is a young team. They will be pretty good next year. Syracuse, Pittsburgh, give that one to Syracuse. And then Florida State take down Stanford because Stanford's not great, so I think Florida State take that one. Although they do have to travel to the West Coast. Virginia Tech take down California. Georgia Tech take down Syracuse. NC State take down Pitt. Miami take down Stanford. NC takes down Virginia. Louisville takes down Boston College. SMU takes down Wake. This one's kind of a pretty easy week. This one be the best game. Georgia Tech, Syracuse. I think Georgia Tech will be in a lot of close games this year. Syracuse beat North Carolina. I think that'll be a good game for this week. Clemson beat Duke. Really worried about that since we lost to them 2 years ago, but hoping for the best. Florida State take down Wake. NC State take down Tech. I think this is where NC State will kind of show some promise in the year, just because I think they'll get off to a rough start, but then I think they'll pick it up a little more. Miami SMU could go either way, and this could determine more. This could put SMU in the championship, and this could put Miami in the championship. So, as of right now, away team, this is a downside to Miami. I think it'll probably be favored in SMU's favor. We'll see what happens throughout the season. I could change my prediction for this game. This isn't until week 10, so we will see. But as of right now, I'm going to take Miami and their new assets. Pittsburgh take down Stanford. Virginia take down California. Louisville beats VTech. If there's anything that could go wrong for Louisville's season at this 10-2 record, it's losing to VTech. This would drop them from 3-6. So that would take them out of the fight completely. SMU beat Boston College. Clemson, Florida State. Can't wait for that game. Rivalry game. Clemson takes down Florida State. Miami, Syracuse. Miami take down Syracuse. North Carolina takes down Stanford. Virginia takes down Wake. Louisville takes down California. And Duke walks through UConn. Clemson, Louisville. November 14th, I believe this falls on. Really scared. Friday game, 8 p.m. If you know Clemson, they don't have the best record recently in Friday games. That is when we lost to Duke 2 years ago. So, it's 2 or 3. I know I said 2 earlier, but I think it could be 3 now. Clemson gets this one done in Louisville. This is who we got absolutely embarrassed in front of last year. I'm hoping that it doesn't happen again. But as much as it hurts to say this, we put Louisville winning that game. It would be us versus Louisville. So we'll see how that goes. Georgia Tech beats Boston College at Boston College. Duke takes on Virginia. Florida State takes on VTech. This will be a great game. Could go either way, but it doesn't really change much in the grand scheme of things. It just drops Florida State from 7 to 10, but I do see Florida State taking them down. Miami beats NC State, and North Carolina beat Wake Forest. NC State beat Florida State. Like I said, I think NC State will get things figured out and play a lot better towards the end of the year. Clemson Furman doesn't matter. Georgia Tech beats Pitt pretty easily. SMU, Louisville, great game again. I love how the Louisville, Miami, SMU, they're all three playing each other. So I think that'll be very good in Clemson's favor. We only have to play SMU and Louisville. We don't have to play Miami. So if we slip up, another one of them can slip up. This pretty much will just change. This would put Louisville in the championship as well. And SMU would just drop down another spot. But I have SMU winning this game since they are at home. Stanford and California, absolute toilet bowl. See Stanford winning that one. Duke versus North Carolina. I think Duke wins in North Carolina. I think they're going to be good enough this year and take down that NC new team. Miami beats Virginia Tech, and a little upset prediction. This one doesn't matter for the ACC, but just want to throw it in there. And then rivalry week, Miami takes down Pitt. Syracuse takes down Boston College. SMU walks through California. Virginia Tech beats Virginia, and that'll be it. So for the ACC, these are my predictions over here. A lot could change. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully no injuries. Hopefully a very, very, very healthy college football season. Everyone stays healthy. All the teams play well, and I'm very excited for this season. So this is my ACC prediction. I'll be dropping an SEC prediction soon. I hope you enjoy. Let me know if you agree, disagree, or whatever in the comments. And thank you for watching. Peace out.